Awesome. All right. We're here for our most recent episode of Scoop TV. Joining me again is Brandon Ryder and our special guest today, Big Daddy Justin Dedich. What's up, man?
What's up? How we doing?
How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how's everything going? How's the family?
We're doing well. Just doing quarantine and trying to keep our sanity. So
Any holes in the wall?
holes? No, not yet.
How's it like being back at the home with the parents again?
It's nice. It's interesting. Now I'm older, not in high school, but
Right.
now I'm older. I can go to the store whenever I want. Well, I could do that before, but
Right. It's a strange feeling. It's like you're still independent, but you're under your mom's roof again. So you gotta be respectful with it all.
Yeah, pretty much. You gotta respect their decisions and their rules, but
Right.
be independent a little bit. So.
Has that been a difficult adjustment for you, moving back home?
No. It's been fun. I've been helping them out with a lot of projects. They right before quarantine started, like a week before we had just moved. So most of it has been unpacking and painting and working on the backyard and all that. So.
Wow, so much for any type of vacation for you, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
You still had school, workouts, so yeah, full slate.
Oh yeah.
So Justin, I found this kind of interesting, and talk about your process of how you got to USC, and making that decision from the beginning to the end. And then you were also, and I'm not sure people are aware of this, but you played soccer in high school, and you were a goalie.
Yeah.
And so you can talk about that, and you had a goals against average of only 1.33. So did you scare the strikers away from you?
I remember one game. I think I did. There was just one game that some kid, it was just me and him, and the ball, one of his forwards passed the ball in between us two, and I decided to rush the ball to try and grab it and snag it away.
Right.
And we were both met up at the same time at the ball, and I went to go just boot the ball as far as I could away. But I kind of missed, and I hacked the dude's calf, and he went crying and falling on the ground, and I got kicked out, and I missed a playoff game and all of it. And I was crying too, I'm not gonna lie, because I missed an important game for us. But
right.
Yeah, I probably scared a few people, but I wasn't as big back then.
It's hard to imagine, but yeah, going back, how did you walk us through your recruiting process and how you ultimately chose USC?
Yeah, so in high school, I remember I got the SC offer in springtime, and they had always been a top candidate for me, just being a SoCal kid. And Coach Chris and Vianney and all of them always talked to them about SC. And so I think at that time it was between SC and UW. And I was fighting back and forth between the two. I remember I kept visiting SC. I visited UW 2 or 3 times. And I remember I went to visit UW in June. And after I visited there, I was walking around the campus. I just remember I asked myself, do you really want to be in Washington and be here? And something just kind of clicked to me. I was like, all right, I need to go to SC. And me and my dad sat down in the train to get back to the Seattle airport. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at my dad. I was like, I'm not going there, Dad. I'm going to SC. And then a week later, I committed. And it was just because of just the whole atmosphere at SC. I grew up around in SoCal. I loved the coaching staff and the program, and I loved all the guys there. Some of the O-linemen knew me and other players because of Vianney and stuff. And I just felt more at home at SC, and I knew that my degree would be have a lot more of a value at SC than it would at UW, and that's how I kind of came to my decision. So
it's good to hear, because Vianney's name doesn't come up a lot, but how much of an impact did Vianney really play in that? Because your offensive line coach at the time would have been Callaway, and he's no longer there. So to have Vianney be there and transition.
I mean, Vianney I loved Callaway as a coach, and he was a big guy that pushed for me as an O lineman because there's a lot of schools that overlooked me because of my size, but Callaway didn't really see that. So I love Callaway for that. But Vianney he kind of – it's important to have a connection and know a player that's currently on the team because you get to know other team members. You get to know the pros and the cons of the program. And Vianney was kind of like that. He was like a bigger brother to me, and he kind of told me everything about SC I needed to know. So,
Right.
yeah.
Nice.
Brandon?
You mentioned your size right there, Justin. What are you measuring in at right now?
6'2", about 300 pounds. So right around where I want to be.
Right. That's a good size for a center.
Yep. Give
Now,
or take 5 pounds.
Speaking of which, are you going to be transitioning between left guard and center this season? How's that going to work for you?
Yeah, I believe so. When spring ball started, me and Jevno had talked about me getting some guard reps. I think the big thing about O-line is just finding the best 5. So he wanted to see me out at guard and see how I moved because I really didn't play center in high school until my senior year.
Oh, okay.
So guard is something I've been kind of acclimated to, and I'm comfortable with pulling and stuff. So it's not really that hard of a transition for me, and I really enjoy guard. So, yeah.
That's great to my ears. I love hearing that because I need to see you on the field, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, I love pulling. It's like probably my favorite thing.
Nice.
Do a lot of it. So.
Who do you look when you pull? When you pull and you turn the corner? How do you feel when you see like an undersized linebacker or safety or DB like waiting there? Is it just like lunchtime for you?
Yeah, expect like the best is when they kind of see in the corner of their eye, but they don't really try and like dodge you, and you just know you're gonna put them on their butt. That's like I don't know, you get all hyper and excited, and you just cake them.
Sad to say, I've been on the wrong end of those before, man.
Yeah.
How disappointing is it when you got that dude just lined up and you're ready to just plant him in the ground, and he just does that soccer dive and falls to the ground like someone shot him from the stands?
Like, yeah, he'll like dive at your knees or something.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing, and like you get pretty frustrated. But at the same time, they took themselves out of the play, so it's like usually when you see that happen, the play is gone for some yardage. So it's like.
Right. Do you take that time to just all of a sudden do that belly flop and say, oh, well, since you're here?
What was that?
So do you kind of take that opportunity maybe to do the belly flop on the guy since he's already on the ground?
If they're trying to get back up, yeah, you'll just lay on them. But
yeah,
you may just put a hand there so you don't get a flag. Get a call back.
Hey, man, them DBs is just trying to stay alive out there.
Yeah.
They don't want to see you coming around that corner.
When you're playing center, obviously one of the keys is that the center quarterback exchange. Can you talk about the nuance and the challenges that actually come with trying to make that happen consistently? Not to mention having to do it with a backup quarterback that might be shuffling in.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a good center and you snap consistently in the same spot, it shouldn't be hard. But all of us centers have a tendency, like some of us will snap right here or some of us will snap right here. So I think me and Brett are kind of on a different side. Like Keaton, like Brett catches it kind of more on the right, and my snaps are more a little on the left. So little habits like that for the quarterback are important because they start to understand where the ball tendency is. Like say you have outside zone right, your ball may travel a little more left or right versus when it normally does. And I feel like some quarterbacks are really good at picking that up, especially when they get practice with one of the centers for a long time, and it's different for everyone. So in that sense, yes, it's very important to get reps with someone and understand where their tendencies are.
As a center, as a general rule, do you guys prefer quarterback under the center or in that, shotgun position?
I don't know. I don't really think about it that way. I've just kind of grown accustomed being on the West Coast. It's just always been shotgun ever since I played. I'm not
gonna lie. I miss quarterbacks getting under center just for the 1 yard quarterback sneak. I need that play in my life. Tom Brady has made it the masterful play of the world.
Yeah, I don't. With Coach Graham, I don't think we have under the center, so it's been all shotgun. I remember Coach T had a few under the center plays. I forget which one. I don't remember which ones they were, but it was very rare.
Yeah, I don't see y'all going under center much this year, but hey, make it work either way.
All air raid. So
Has your journey at USC so far been everything you anticipated? In other words, are there things that when you reflect back and look and say, I could have done this differently, or you know what, I'm just taking it day by day, and what happens happens?
yeah, I mean, definitely. There's always things that you look back on and you wonder what would have happened if I did this or this. Like sometimes I think about my degree choice. Maybe I should have done business instead of human bio.
Mm.
But it's day to day. Some days you love what you do, and some days you not regret, but you wonder. I think it's normal. But yeah, I guess.
You said your major is human bio.
Yeah, human bio.
Yeah, that's a big one. I can see why you think about it some days.
Some days you get that test score back, you're like, man, I should have done business or communications or something. But
I know the terminology alone in those courses is off the wall. So kudos to you, man.
A lot of studying.
Yeah, the reason I bring this question up is, in talking to some of your teammates during our Scoop TV episodes, they've been very introspective in some of the stuff they've learned about themselves. One of your close friends, Jason Rodriguez, discovered he needed to learn how to be coached.
Yeah.
John Jackson, we spoke to earlier today, he was able to figure out why he was frustrated at his freshman year.
Yeah.
So the Trojan family and the fans, they like to hear these things that, you're human. You guys aren't just football players in a video game. You're a human biology major trying to study, fit in practice, and just be a young adult.
Yeah.
So that's why we like to talk about these things, to kind of humanize you.
Yeah, like we're really young people. I was in high school, my senior year, or first semester, and I literally had to decide what I wanted to study for my career. And I have no clue, I didn't know really my passions, because all I've really done my whole life is play sports. I know what I'm good at certain things, but I've never really had a real job. So there's a lot. And we're really young. So.
No, most definitely. And I really commend you, young man, for handling it with the poise that you do, because I don't think, half the people out there could walk a day in you guys' shoes as student athletes, especially out of school like USC. So keep up the good work, man, for sure.
Thank you.
Speaking of your passion, so where did you get your passion for cooking?
Yes.
And let's just dive into this big man cook-off, because you guys I'm getting fat just watching you guys.
I mean, yeah, that's part of the answer right there. We're all pretty beefy people. We're all 250 plus, so I think food has been a part of our lives the whole time. I've been a more breakfast person. Like I always love to cook a good omelet, or like a little ham or steak and eggs for breakfast or something. And I do cook dinner and stuff, but I don't know. I just enjoy making a meal in the beginning of the day. And so this cook-off sounds like a lot of fun. And they call me the greatest showman on the weightlifting staff. And I like to I don't know, kind of act for videos and make it more fun for myself. Yeah. So I've kind of adopted that into the cook-off, or integrated it into the cook-off with my hats and my voices and stuff. And I really enjoy it. I think it's fun and gives the media something.
I'll tell you what, the personalities that have come alive through those videos are amazing.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Oh, they're awesome. And I'll be the first one. I'm cheating. I'm retweeting and liking for everybody. So I'm not, like I said, some of those meals you guys are making are impressive.
ABC and Andrew made some really good ones, and that was a hard one to vote for.
I know John and Amon Ra told us earlier that they were all about Voorhees.
Yeah, I know. Voorhees is a good. The thing about the cook-off is the taste. That's the only thing we're missing.
Yeah. They said they should have been the taste testers. They should have been judges, but with everything going on.
Because there's I bet you some of those meals were a lot of presentation, and probably my meals too. It probably didn't taste as good as other people's. So,
you know what? I would have been happy with smell-o-vision.
yep.
They look good. Yeah, they look good for sure.
Did you pick this up from your mom, from your dad? Or who's got the cooking bug in your family?
My mom cooks a lot of the meals at night, and my dad will cook frequently. My dad used to grill a lot or like smoke a little bit, but I would say from both of them, they both cook equally. Probably my mom a little more when I was growing up. So I've kind of learned from both sides of the spectrum a little bit.
What's the best spot to eat on campus?
Best spot on campus. Let's think.
Or near campus, around that area.
Yeah. Five Guys. I love Five Guys. I'll go to Five Guys any day of the week.
I don't know what's up with their fry situation. They're not dumping that extra scoop on me anymore, but I still.
What? You just gotta make homies with the people. You gotta figure out the people that work there and the schedule is. And you just gotta go in and make sure that they're
enough. That's what it is.
And then the peanuts. Oh, those are life changing. They'll just change your life. Another spot. There's a hidden delicacy on campus. If I were to like strictly stay on campus or the village, Wahlburgers is always good, but it's just stinking expensive.
I agree.
It's freaking, you break the bank every time.
I haven't had them yet, so I don't know.
Kava's all right. I think I'll crave it and then I'll hate it. And can never go wrong with Panda Express. No, you can actually. I take that back. But there's this Dulce, the coffee shop. Me and Ben Griffiths, before this whole quarantine thing started, we were going there and getting coffee and breakfast burritos like every weekend. I'll miss that place. That place was bomb.
Well, speaking of missing, I'm sure you're aware, trying to keep up to date with the news. June 15th, voluntary workouts can begin again. Have you been updated by Coach, the staff, what's going on?
No, I think we're on a day-to-day basis still. Like, we still don't know. I don't think SC's dorming is open yet for summer. So we're just trying to follow the news. And once we get that okay, we'll probably all be back. But no, we don't have a clear-cut answer yet of when.
We've been doing to stay in shape during this whole pandemic?
What have I been doing? They started like this little private Instagram page for all of us.
Right.
And they'll post they don't post the lifts in there because they send us those, but they'll post like cardio days, like listen to 10 sets of 100-yard sprints or something. So do those like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday are my big lift days. So, sorry, I was getting a phone call.
No worries.
Yeah, so I'll lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday are big cardio days. And then Tuesdays I do the truck pulls for a little bit of power. So like my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is like 3 days of legs straight in a row. I'm pretty fried on my legs by Thursday.
Oh man, pulling trucks?
Yeah. It's fun, but it's super hard, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I thought it would be easier, but
they're called tons for a reason, Justin.
Yeah. It's hard, especially like you got front squats on Monday, and then your legs are already sore, and then you got to push a truck, and then on Wednesday you got a back squat. Oh, so you just you're sore.
You started off with the worst one with the front squats, man.
Yeah, front squats, man. Those will deprive you of your oxygen real quick.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do you ever think back or reflect back to some of your workouts you did with Yanni's dad, Chris Talamayo, and the whole, Giant Skills?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I trained with Coach Chris pretty much my whole high school career.
Right.
And he gave me that stepping stone to. I had no idea offensive line technique was or any of that. I was brand new to football, so taught me how to pass set, how to run block, and all that. So yeah, Coach Chris and Vianney, they taught me a lot in high school, and they kind of helped me jumpstart my whole career and help me advance and excel in high school. And on top of that, Coach Raymer, the O-line coach at Shap, he played D1 ball, and he's gotten a lot of dudes out already, and he gave me a lot of techniques and tips too. And Coach Chris was kind of the one that told me he didn't tell me to transfer there, but he gave me the connection between me and Coach Raymer. So, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of have the feeling that there was a close connection there between you and the Talamayagos and the giant skills and everything they've done to help you get to where you're at now.
Yep.
Speaking of where you're at now, when you're having those practices in the trenches, who's the defensive lineman that you're just like, God, man, this guy just gets me every time?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of our D linemen are really, really effective players. Like the three I struggle with probably the most are Peely, Jay, and Marlon. They all have their different strengths and weaknesses. Jay is just a freaking nasty player, hard to block. Marlon is super quick with his hands and getting skinny, and Peely is just freaking hard to move, and he's a solid D lineman. So those three guys are really tough to go against every practice, but they make you better and they make games a lot easier.
Are there any guys on the other side of the ball that you like to give it to that you know that they just can't handle you?
I don't know. No, it's college, so I mean,
You can talk some smack, Justin. Come on.
No. One of us will win, and then the next rep will lose. It's something that doesn't happen in high school, and when you get to college, man, it happens quite a bit. So you got to get used to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, iron sharpens iron, man. And with that,
Yeah.
with those guys you just named on the D line, and the expectations for them coming up this season, you guys got to get each other right. So.
Yep, exactly.
Speaking of getting right, you give us your thoughts on the new energy and the new vibe with Coach Orlando and Dante Williams and Coach Otto,
Chris
Coach
Claypool.
Niver.
Yeah, I mean, brand new staff, and they were Coach O. He was funny when he first came in and stuff. Their whole group is comedy because they're such high energy. Just the whole defensive staff.
Right.
They started screaming in our team meeting one time, and everyone started screaming, and it was just pretty cool to watch them all because they bring a lot higher energy to the meeting room and practice field. And I didn't get to see what they could have done this spring. So
We all are.
yeah.
I want to touch on that point. How much of a factor is energy from the coaches in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a coach. It could be a player. It could be anyone. Just when someone, I don't know, it's like when you meet one-on-one with someone, if you start talking to someone and they look down, it can kind of get you down. It's kind of the same vibe in practice and anywhere you go. If the coaches look down, like they look like they don't want to be there, then obviously you're not going to want to be there. But if they're high energy and they're like, let's go, let's do this, and they start yelling and screaming and having fun, it's like, wow, it makes it a lot more fun and brings up your energy for the whole group. So,
okay. And the reason I ask is I'm an old school type of guy.
Yeah.
For me, I've always come from the school of if you don't have it inside, I can maybe push in that direction, but you got to have that fire inside, and no matter how driven that coach might be,
yeah,
you got to find it internally. So I'm just I'm asking you as an athlete, how much of a factor is it, maybe not to you, but in the general scheme of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty important because, everyone thrives off each other's energy, especially like Drevno when he comes in a meeting room and it's not that we're having like goofing off fun, but he's like making funny jokes, or he's telling us, like, he starts like motivating us, like he's like, we're in the, I don't know if I can say this, but ass kicking business and all.
Whatever you want, man. This is football.
Yeah, he'll say like, we're here in the ass kicking business. We're the O-line. He'll start hyping us up, and we're like, yeah. And we start all getting excited, and it does affect us a lot.
No, I'm a firm believer that, although the game of football may have changed to more of a spread it out air raid passing game, it all starts in the trenches. It always has and always will. It starts up front with you guys on the O-line, protecting quarterbacks, making holes for the running backs. So I wanted to ask you, what's your preference? Do you prefer pass blocking, or do you like when it's like 3rd and 1 and you guys are going to run it? What do you like?
I mean, me personally, probably given my size and arms, I would say run blocking, because I'm more of a power guy and I just love to hit people. But I don't mind pass pro. Don't get me wrong, but I love to knock the wind out of someone.
No. I want you to love run blocking, because that's what Marquise Stepp and Stephen Carr and Brian Malapaya I love about you too, man.
Yeah, I love run blocking, and like I said, pulling is my favorite thing in the whole world. I love pass pro too, but I way rather just
look,
nail someone.
We're gonna holler about getting student body left put back into the playbook then, all right?
What was that?
We're gonna talk to Graham about having student body left put back into the playbook so you can pull out on that sweep.
All right, sounds good.
You're talking about the differences between run blocking and pass pro. Talk about the line splits. One of the criticisms that fans will bring up sometimes is height, arm length, and how much of that matters if you have wide splits versus your conventional 5 guys.
Yeah, I mean, splits, it's a very opinionated issue, I guess you could say. But Drevno's pretty lenient by switching it up on certain plays or certain teams, for example. If they, like Utah was a very gap, they shoot the gap quick, so we might want to tighten our splits down. But if you can tell a different team is going to be a different way, then maybe widen them out a little bit, open up the run game or something. It's all different philosophies for everyone, and everyone has their own opinion. So you just gotta, I don't know. Everyone's gonna have their opinion. So
making adjustments is a part of the game. So the fact that you're doing it a week ahead is
yeah.
Is one more challenging than the other?
So it depends on
I'm
the
not
team.
trying to put you on the spot.
No, yeah, I know. It depends on the team, because, like I said, Utah is a gap heavy. They shoot the gap kind of team. So obviously, yeah, it's going to be a lot more difficult if you have wider splits.
Okay.
For me personally, it hasn't affected me. Sometimes it'd be like, dang, I wish our splits were wider or narrower. But when you're lining up, and sometimes you just don't think about your splits, the other lineman, you take a guesstimate and you just line up. So it depends on the play and the team. That's kind of what I would say.
All right. Now, last year you got a taste of starting against UCLA, against Cal. I'm sure those games stand out for you right now. Between those 2 games, which one do you think you had the better game?
Cal, 100%.
Why?
At UCLA, against UCLA, I had there was a 1 or 2 series. I had a few mental bogs on pass protection, and they did like a stunt, and I forgot to follow one guy one time, and luckily Keaton was quick to throw the ball, but it could have been something, and that always happens. And as an O-lineman, you hate to see that, what could have been, and it's something you always try and correct. And so Cal, definitely a lot less mess ups, and they were a more odd heavy team. So we had a little bit of a bigger run game and stuff. And I felt like I just played much better, not having the pressure of being at home or anything like that. But versus UCLA, I had a few mental fogs. So it's something that I need to work on.
Okay.
No.
I appreciate that the candid answer.
Yeah, no problem.
So, like I said, you've had a taste now. Will you be disappointed if you're not starting?
No, I mean, I love reason I play football is because I love to compete with my brothers and be on a team. And no matter how I can help the team win, I feel like I'm a big hype up kind of guy, like in the weight room or on the practice field. And if that's the way that I'm supposed to help this team is by being the hype guy and keeping everyone motivated to stay on track or anything, and I'll do that 100% to my full effort. But if it's me starting this year, then I'll do that 100% to my full effort. But wherever I'm placed, I want to make sure I win as many games as we can.
Well, with the type of offense that, you guys are running, playing time really shouldn't be an issue anyways. You guys do a lot of rotating, hopefully, and we'll keep that up.
Yeah.
And it's the other team that has to have the stamina. So again, we're looking forward. Like you said, we were robbed of the spring. I know you were looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I've seen some of your workout videos that you guys are putting out. You're definitely the hype up dude.
You're gonna have to fill both roles: hype up dude and starter.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah,
you got it. I'm glad you mentioned the weight room, though. I wanted to kind of talk about that. I know you guys haven't been in the weight room with AA for a few months now, but, let's go back to those times. What was it like? What was the atmosphere like with this new strength and conditioning program that you guys been in for about a year now, right?
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I think a lot of people noticed on media and I noticed and felt is that we all got really strong. Some of those guys that weren't big weightlifters, they got strong. We're making major improvements and AA-ing them. We're doing a great job with that. And they still are. But it was just, we were on such an upward track. It was.
Yeah, I remember somebody saying this was the first season they remember players getting stronger in season.
Yeah, we got stronger in season. That was a big thing too. Like a lot of us were certain things like power cleans. Like Brett hit a huge max before season. And then right after season, like right when we came back in January, Brett basically, I think he hit 5 pounds heavier than what he did on power clean. And we're like, what the heck? Like that's not normal. You shouldn't do that after you
right.
Brett went through a whole season playing, it's just, it speaks to how well that our staff is. So.
Right. That's good to hear. I was going to say, I know you're a big lifter in there. Who do you think is your biggest competition? Who pushes you the hardest?
Pushes me the hardest, man. There's a lot of players, but Coach Kling, I'm not going to lie, pushes me a lot. Coach Kling, me and him have this little competition between the back squat.
Yeah.
He's stronger than me on it right now, but like, he's like on my board, like I have him at the top, and it's like I want to X him out and beat him really bad, really bad.
A strong guy.
Yeah, Coach Kling is super strong. So he's I would honestly say Coach Kling is one of my biggest competitions. I always go in there and talk crap to him, and I watch his lifts when he's lifting, and there's other guys, my teammates too, like Jay and Caleb, and everyone's good at their own separate lift. Like Caleb's really good at power cleaning, and Brett. So I'm always in competition to try and do the weights that they're training at. And I'll be like, say they have 4 reps of 275, and maybe I don't know. I think I can do 275 for 4 reps, but I'm just giving an example. But say I can't, I can only do 3. I'll try and do 270 at 4 and try and get as close as I can to their training level, just so I can, when I max clean next time, I can try and get their numbers they're getting. So.
Right on, man. What would you say your favorite lift is?
Back squat, 100%.
Back squat.
Love back squat. Just something I like. It was one of the first lifts I learned with my dad, and it's probably one of my best lifts. So it's just something I really enjoy.
Yeah, if you see me fidgeting around over here a lot, it's because I just did back squats.
Oh, you did? You got the jello leg?
Yeah, I did back squats, so I'm all over the place with my legs.
Knowing that you like to work out a lot, what were your first initial thoughts when you saw these winter conditioning drills going out on Howard Jones Field, and all of a sudden you see these 50-pound chains being dragged around? That was something new.
On our videos?
As a team during your winter, before you guys actually started, right before spring ball.
Yeah. Wait, sorry. You're gonna have to refresh me. Where were the chains at?
So those 50-pound chains that you guys were attaching to yourselves and running around out there on Howard Jones Field.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're
There's a
doing
lot of new stuff going on out there.
yeah, we're doing that for like acceleration stuff. It was more the skill guys, I would say, because most of us big guys, we did a lot of sled pushing in the off season, a lot of sled pushing and explosive movements for shorter distances, and the skill guys would do a lot more chain running for 100 yards, and we would cap out at 40 yards or something because we don't got to run the whole field, but we were doing more explosive movements. But we did do the chains a little bit, and so they would attach a chain to you, you would run, and then the next rep you'd take the chain off, and then you'd run again. It's just a little for acceleration. So
I think Jay Tufele might have been cheating when nobody was looking, because every time I saw him, he was leading the pack on every single 100-yard rep.
Yeah, Jay.
And that was pretty damn impressive to me.
Yeah, Jay's quick. He's really fast for how much he weighs, and just he's a really athletic guy.
Yeah, I think the point I was trying to make, and being long-winded about it, was these winter conditioning drills are really paying off, and you guys are. I don't think the country is really quite aware of the time and the investment you guys put in.
I was so disappointed about the quarantine because I honestly was in one of my primes. I've had the biggest prime I've probably been in my life, and I was ready for spring ball, and like 90% of our team was probably 100% of our team was
100%.
We were in our prime, man, and oh man, I was really disappointed. I was really upset.
You know, we're still expecting great things from you guys this season, but we definitely understand where you're coming from. The momentum has been rolling from you guys since the off season, with the new staff hires, with the team in general, and just the momentum of the multimedia building up the fans, and you know, fall camp is around the corner.
I know. So you just got to deal with the cards you're dealt, and once we get that, we can come back. We're gonna try and start where we left off right before or right after March. I don't remember when it
I
happened.
think it was like around March 11th, right around that time.
Yeah. So I remember I was watching something on Drevno the other day, and he was saying it kind of it's going to create newness in all of us. So I'm excited to see that. Some of those guys that maybe kind of weren't feeling the same they were about football when they first came to SC, maybe it'll give them that jump start again. So I'm excited to see what this quarantine has done.
You know, it's a really interesting point you just brought up. Is there a renewed appreciation for the opportunity?
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah, 'cause we had it 24/7, and then it got stripped from us. It's like maybe some of these guys will realize, like, man, I'm not going to have this forever. So hopefully it has a more positive impact than negative.
We don't want to keep you much longer, and you don't have to answer this next question if you don't want to, but you're kind of touching on something. Was that an issue last year in the locker room where maybe everybody wasn't 100% bought in?
No, I just think it's a common issue for a lot of people, and regardless of what you do, because I've been there before, especially at my time at SC. I've been there where weeks I've just freaking, I don't want to practice. I don't want to train. I just want to play video games in my dorm all day. I don't want to focus on my schoolwork. I don't want to do anything. And I can get myself out of it, but maybe there's some guys that struggle with that, or maybe it'll prevent certain weeks like that happening for guys, and they won't have to feel bogged down, or right. I don't know. I feel like it's a very common issue for anyone across college football.
No doubt. People get burnt out for sure, especially with how much is on your plate. It's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I wouldn't feel bad for you, but you're a human bio major, so you know what? I'm going to give it to you.
Look, he said he didn't have any idea. He just said, "Oh, I like that topic." Yeah, let's do it.
Exactly. But I'm glad I'm studying what I'm studying, because I really it's helped me out in my workouts and stuff, and supplements I take, and
nice.
I've learned a lot about my body. So
yeah, well, you know what? Offensive linemen are known to be very smart dudes, anyways, and I mean, you're kind of well-rounded. Not only you're smart, you're a great football player, but you can cook. So I imagine you've got, you know, the co-ed just hanging around you left and right anyways.
Big
Yeah.
man on campus, man. I already know. You don't have to tell us.
Oh yeah.
All right. Again, Justin, we won't keep you any longer. I know you probably want to hang out with your family. It's the weekend. But thanks again for coming on.
Yep.
I cannot wait to see you in person. I know you're waiting to get back on campus as soon as possible.
Yep.
So thank you. And if we can do this again, let us know. We'd be happy to have you on.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. And
Thanks for coming and joining us, man. Stay healthy, stay safe, man.
yeah, thank you. Hopefully I see you guys in person soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Fight on.
Fight on.
I don't.
Stop recording.